Hi guys, this is Ranjit and welcome to the October Tech Q&A session where I'll be answering some of your tech related questions. I've actually taken 18 of the tech questions that you guys have posted via Twitter. So let's answer a variety of questions, and yes, a lot of questions even on the new Pixel smartphones and all these things. So I'll take that up. And the first question, I've got similar questions, so I've taken this up. This is by Sai Chandar. Can you do a Moto Edge 30 Ultra versus Pixel 7? Okay, Sai, the thing is that the Motorola Edge 30 Ultra should not be compared to the regular Pixel 7, but it should be actually compared to the Pixel 7 Pro, to be very frank. And I would say in certain areas the Moto Edge 30 Ultra definitely goes ahead. If you talk about the processor, the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 is definitely faster than the Tensor G2. Also in terms of screen refresh rate, I feel this is a lot more fluid at 144 Hz. This caps at 120, and if you go down to the Pixel 7, it's just 90 Hz. And one area where I felt the Motorola is way ahead compared to both the Pixel 7 and the 7 Pro is in terms of charging speeds and also battery life. And charging speeds, this is blazingly fast. Both the Pixel 7 and the 7 Pro are actually pretty slow in charging. It takes about 1 hour 45 to 1 hour 50 minutes for the Pixel 7 and the 7 Pro to charge, whereas it's just a couple of minutes with the Motorola Edge 30 Ultra because of that 125 watt charging. So that's big difference, I would say. Also in terms of looks, I would say the Ultra feels a little bit more premium because of this matte back. It does not attract fingerprints, whereas this is attracting a lot of fingerprints because it's not matte. But one area I would say, don't get me wrong, the camera on the Moto Edge Ultra is not bad, but if I have to just talk about the camera performance, then obviously the Pixel has better cameras, both in terms of static photographs as well as video. Don't get me wrong, this is not bad, but if I have to compare, that's the big difference I would say between these two smartphones. And also updates, the security updates are slightly more on the Pixel. Of course, this is 5 years. This, if I recall, was 4 years. So I hope that gives you a difference. In fact, I will be doing the full review of this one. This has got the new OT update. So I have to check in video how did the performance improve, because earlier I didn't like the performance of the video with the Ultra. But I have to test how it is after this update. Sorry, couldn't do it from last one total more than a week. I was actually sick. That's why no videos and stuff like that. Anyways, moving to the next one. This is by Mr. Agnihotri. Do you use a mesh Wi-Fi setup, and which one would you suggest? Mr. Anguri, not in this current setup. This is my temporary setup. This is not my regular setup. But in my old regular setup, yes, I was using a mesh, setup. That was Google Wi-Fi mesh, which I had got from US, and that worked brilliantly. In fact, I will be actually, this is my temporary setup, as I've told you. Will be moving to my new house in the next 5-6 months or something, where it's actually a 3-story house, and I'll have to actually use a proper mesh setup. I can get away with Google Wi-Fi, but the problem is Google Wi-Fi is not Wi-Fi 6, and because I'm building a new setup over there, I want it to be latest. So I might go with Ubiquiti setup, which is slightly a professional setup, but I know that will give no dead spots or anything in any area. You actually put access points and you can actually expand the network as you want. So I will be going with that one. This is by Amit. He's asking, I was keen to know your opinion on the Samsung battery issue being posted by a fellow YouTuber, Mr. Who's the Boss. Wanted to know what's your opinion on that. Yes, I have seen that video. And yes, the Samsung smartphones, particularly older smartphones, which are not being actively used, if you just keep it there, their battery is bulging. In fact, I checked some of my older smartphones, and yes, I did encounter that with one of them. This is actually the Note 9, and as you can see here also battery bulged, and I don't recall, this was just lying in my desk for about 4 years. What is actually happening is that if the phone is not being actively used, the electrolyte in that one is drying up, and that is after a while, after a couple of years or months, it's just expanding the battery. So this is something that is happening to phones if you're not actively using it. I've been personally, in fact, my daughter is using the S20 FE, that's almost 2-year-old smartphone, no issues. What I've noticed is that with active smartphones, in fact, my dad has a Galaxy S8, still he's using it, and that also didn't have a problem. So what I'm noticing is that if you're not using the smartphones and just keeping it on the desk for a couple of years, this is happening. And I think so the problem is that me, as many reviewers, we don't actually if you're storing the smartphones, generally it's a good idea to actually keep the battery charged to 50 or 60% and then shut it off. It's not a good idea to drain completely the battery. For example, you're not using the smartphone and you just put it on the desk and leave it for a couple of years. That's happening. This should technically not happen, but yes, this is happening to smartphones, particularly Samsung smartphones, if you're not actively using them. Happened with one of my devices, as I've told you, the Note 9, old Note 9, which was lying in my desk for almost about more than 3 years. This is by Armchair. Okay, interesting name. What one tech from past will you update a little and say that it's good for the future for at least next 5 years? Okay, if one tech, I would say that would be something like the media streaming sticks. For example, Amazon Fire Stick or something. I still have a pretty old Samsung TV that I had purchased in 2013, and you know that became pretty outdated, the built-in whatever app. So I had upgraded it with the Fire Stick in 2015, and that is still working. And now I recently got a new Fire Stick, that's the 4K version, and now I'm going to upgrade. So yes, if you have media streaming sticks, if you buy the latest and the good one, they should easily last for 4 or 5 years without any issues, and can give actually good life to your old televisions also if the display panel is still working. Anyways, moving to this is by Irani. Missing your car and bike reviews and vlogs on your second channel. Hope to see you active on the second channel soon. Yes, I will try it. If you guys recall, I'm not keeping well. Whenever I'm going out too much and meeting people, I'm just falling sick. That's why that channel is not active. But again, I have some interesting stuff that will be happening, ordered new stuff that I should be getting very soon. So I will be making, hopefully I'm keeping my fingers crossed, this will happen this month only. So yes, that channel will get active a little bit. And now also rains have finally subsided in Hyderabad, so I will also start going on bike ride. So yes, hopefully we should start seeing that on the second channel. This is by Ashok. Can we see more small size phones in the future? If you're expecting very small size phones, I don't think so that's going to happen. Yes, phones in this like Pixel 7, 6.3 inch, 6.2 inch, maybe you'll get some phones with 6.1 inch screen, but smaller than that, I really highly doubt that we will get a lot of smartphones in the market, because most of the users, typical users, are actually preferring larger size screen phones. That's a simple fact. I also like smaller phones. For example, this is the Pixel 7a, but I enjoyed using the Pixel 6a a little bit more. And I feel the only reason for that was that this is actually, that was a little bit more even compact than this Pixel 7. But I think so we are in a small minority among the people. Most of the people like bigger size phones, 6.5 and 6.6, 6.7 inch screens. This is by Ashish. Google's Pixel 7 versus iPhone 13, which is better for camera perspective? Okay, Ashish, I would say we have to divide it into two parts. Definitely, if it is just for static pictures, the Pixel 7 goes ahead, both for the front-facing camera as well as the rear-facing camera, period, compared to the iPhone 13. In fact, I have even the iPhone 14 Pro. It beats even the iPhone 14 Pro. But in terms of video, if you're shooting video, I feel the video is still better on the iPhone 13, particularly from the rear-facing camera of the iPhone 13. The gap now has reduced quite a bit compared to older Pixel 6. The video capabilities have certainly improved in the Pixel 7, but still, if video is the highest priority, I still feel the iPhone 13 does a better job. I hope that helps. Anyways, moving to the next one. This is by Arjun. Is it worth moving from S22 Ultra to 7 Pro Max? 7 Pro Max. I think so you're referring to Pixel 7 Pro. I would say it depends. If you don't care about the S Pen, then I feel yes, the Pixel 7 Pro is a fabulous smartphone. Battery life, I would say, is very similar to the S22 Ultra. So in that area, you will not see a huge difference. But camera is the magic that Pixel does. So yes, I feel, and if you are always after that clean stock kind of experience, you can go with this. But in terms of battery life, I would say No, not much of a difference from the S22 Ultra. S22 Ultra used to give me about 5.5 to 6 hours of SOT. This gives me slightly above 6 hours, or around slightly above 6 hours of SOT. Moving to the next one. This is my Pardhu. How can we get 5G updated phones? Updates for phones imported from US, be it iPhone or Samsung or any other Android 5G phone that we purchase in US. Pardhu, don't worry, even if you purchase a 5G smartphone from US or whatever, eventually it will get the OTA update, even if it's an international model. That is the reason Apple and Samsung are just not rushing out the update. They told that the updates will come next month or something like that. It might not come immediately if it's international model, but eventually after a couple of months, that update, that carrier update that we call to enable 5G in a certain region will be enabled, because even if it's an international smartphone, people will be traveling to other countries eventually, and they have to enable it. But again, this can take a little bit of time. If it's a proper Indian unit, it might get the update a lot quicker. Anyways, moving to the next one. This is by Mr. Srikanth. Don't forget to compare the Moto Edge 30 Ultra with Pixel 7, because both come with almost the same budget with stock Android and camera-centric demo. What are your thoughts on this? As I've told earlier also, don't compare the Motorola Edge 30 Ultra with the Pixel 7. This should be compared with the Pixel 7 Pro, I would say. And again, as I've told you, in a lot of areas, definitely the Ultra goes ahead. But in camera, yes, Pixel holds its trump. That's where Pixel shines. And in cameras, I would say, if I put images side by side, most of you will like the images produced by the Pixel 7. It's not like the camera on this one is bad, but the camera on this is outstanding. It beats even the camera of the iPhone 14 Pro, man. So anyways, moving to the next one. This is by Raja. Pricing of Pixel 7 and the Pixel 7 Pro will create any impact on the pricing in this segment in the future for likes of Samsung India and OnePlus India phones. OnePlus, I don't even care. I don't see OnePlus as a flagship competitor right now. It's just an Oppo phone that is rebranded. But yes, I feel I actually like the pricing of the Pixel 7 and the 7 Pro because yes, the MRP is 60 for this one, but with they said discounts and bank offers, you can get it for 40. And for that price, this is brilliant. If I recall, the Samsung Galaxy S21 FE when it was launched, it was 49,000, and this is way better than, miles better than that smartphone. And even the pricing of the Pro, which is 85,000 regular, but you can get that 10,000, 11,000 discount with bank offers. This is far better even compared to the Galaxy S22 Plus in terms of pricing. And this does not compete with the Galaxy S22 Plus. This competes with the Galaxy S22 Ultra. So yes, I feel Google has shaken up this premium Android smartphone market, and Samsung now has to be a little bit careful. They just can't do whatever they feel like now with their upcoming range. And I feel this is a very good move what Pixel has done. In fact, I was surprised when I saw the India pricing, because I thought, to be frank, these new Pixel smartphones in India will be super overpriced. But luckily, that was not the case. Now moving to the next one, this is by Mr. Jain. What do you use more in your car, Android Auto or Apple CarPlay? Okay, this is an interesting question. Earlier, I had to actually use Apple CarPlay, because in my BMW, earlier it was not supporting actually Android Auto. But if I recall, about 1.5 years ago, there came an update, and now it actually supports Android Auto. And I no longer use Apple CarPlay. I just use Android Auto. In my other car, that's Tiago, it doesn't have anything, and it doesn't support Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. But I am actually moving to a new car, already had booked it, should be getting, and that supports both Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. So I will be using Android Auto. I prefer Android smartphones, man. The only reason I was using an iPhone, as I've told you, was my BMW was only supporting Apple CarPlay. And another thing is that for my other channel, that is GeekyRanjit Rides and Vlogs, where I don't don't like actually shooting that on that channel with heavy DSLRs and stuff. So I just used to use a smartphone. And you know, the camera quality on the iPhone was actually very good. But now I'm actually pretty impressed with the camera quality of even this Pixel 7 and the 7 Pro. So I might actually start shooting some of the videos with the Pixel 7 and the 7 Pro and see how's the video quality. And if it's good enough, I'll completely indirectly abandon the iPhone, I would say. This is by Mr. Sumant. OLED TVs usually cost nearly lakh and QLED slightly less, he says, but the fear of burn-in and LG OLED is there. Which is the best, QLED and OLED? Sumant, a very interesting question, and I think so a lot of users have it. In fact, I can answer this question because in 2018, I generally upgrade my TVs. I upgraded in 2018 to new televisions, and I got a LG OLED 2018 C8 if it was. It's been 4 years, and still that TV works very well. In fact, I also had upgraded to a QLED TV, and I like to upgrade to the best that is available because I don't like to change these TVs every couple of years. And still this OLED TV, it's now more than 4 years, and in fact I do my Xbox gaming etc. on that. It's been working flawlessly. I was also initially worried about it because the first 1 year I was very careful with this one. I didn't connect my gaming console to that. I connected to my QLED TV. But now I've started using this one because we had to move in this area where I didn't have that much space to bring my QLED TV because my QLED TV is a lot bigger. So I got the OLED TV and I've been using gaming now here with this TV for almost 2 years and I don't have any issues. So yes, if you don't abuse your TV, even OLED TVs will last. And in fact, I would say I like both the QLED and the OLED both. But for movie watching, I would say continuously, I still prefer the OLED. I don't know, just the picture quality and what is slightly just better, I would say. It gives a slightly more immersive feeling. And in fact, it does not hurt my eyes also that much. So yes, if I have to just pick one, I might go again with the OLED TV because past 4 years I was also worried about the burn-in and all these things. Nothing happened to my unit. This is by Ajit. Can we expect Moto 30 Motorola Edge 30 Ultra review? Yes, Ajit, I will try to it. I'm slightly feeling better, so I have to actually just take some new camera samples with this one and shoot some videos to see if after this new update has the camera performance, particularly the video, has improved. Once I have that, I'll try to post the video. I can't promise, but I'll try to post the full review of this one. And hopefully this week. This week is very tight a little bit because for complete last week, I couldn't work. A lot of pending work is there. Apart from YouTube videos, also a lot of offline works and stuff. Anyways, moving to the next one. This is by Jagnesh. He's saying now MediaTek chips are built by the same company that makes Apple processors. Can we expect a better standard and capability that matches Apple performance in Android phone? Jagnesh, yes. What do you say? MediaTek is also now using TSMC where they manufacture their chips. But that doesn't matter. See, Apple also is using TSMC, but if just a manufacturer is using TSMC, it doesn't make their chips superior, way superior. It's the chip design. Apple gives their own custom designs to the TSMC and they create it. It's like you have the best tailor available in the market, but if your design is not the best or whatever you want in a crazy way, the output will be like that. That way, I would say still the Apple Silicon and what they do with this is far superior to anything we have on Android. So I don't think so. Android in terms of raw processing power, even the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1, whatever we have the latest or the Dimensity 9000 come close to the Apple A series processor. Still there is a considerable a gap between raw processing power, and that's just not going to change if you are using the same it's like, okay, I'm going to the best tailor and there is one designer who is the best in the best and I just go and give a design. What will be the output? Obviously this guy who has a lot more experience, his output will be better. Yeah, it's like that. Anyways, going to next one. This is by Bharat. Please take my question. Is 5G worth the hype or 4G will be good enough to stick for someday? Okay, I have been getting a lot of questions like this. Bharat, a very valid question. Don't worry, even when 5G is completely rolled out, and that will take at least 1 year, one more year. By end of 2023, we'll have all India rollout. But 4G is not going anywhere. 4G is still going to stay. Okay, don't worry. In fact, Airtel 5G has started rolling out in some of the 8 cities in India. Hyderabad also has it, but it's only available in particular small patches of area. It's not even covering the whole city, so that will take a lot of time. And 4G is not going anywhere. It's not like the 5G is going to come, 4G is going to go off. In fact, on Airtel 5G, whenever you take a voice call, it goes back to actually 4G. So 4G is going to stay for a long time. Don't worry, the 5G comes by next year, the 4G signal will be shut off. Nothing like that is going to happen. So don't worry. This is by Madhu. Hey Ranjit, when will Motorola Edge 30 Ultra 12GB RAM 256GB variant be released? Is there any update on it? I had actually messaged Motorola team about this and I got a very vague reply. They said that it's expected to come in the 3rd or 4th week of October. I replied back, can you give me any specific dates? And I still didn't get any reply. So once I get those details, I'll post it on Twitter. But as of now, I also don't know any specific date. It's a vague reply that by end of October, it should come in stocks. And I asked the pricing also, that also I didn't get an answer. Anyways, moving to the next question. This is the last question. This is by Shubham. Hi Ranjit sir, if somebody buys the Pixel smartphone in India, then what about after sales service of these smartphones? In fact, I have covered this in the Pixel 6a's review. For servicing of Pixel smartphones in India, Google has outsourced to B2X or something like that. They have their main office in Mumbai, and I believe they have one more service center in actually Hyderabad. And what they do is that if you are obviously outside those cities, they actually you have to actually courier the device to them and then they do the service. What I've heard is that in warranty, it's actually pretty good. The service is good, and you generally, your phones get repaired and shipped back between 7 to 10 days. That's what's general that I've noticed. But if your phone is out of warranty, then you'll have to pay for the courier charges. And again, like any premium smartphones, the spares and etc. are on the expensive side. So yes, service is there, but again, you have to actually courier it to them. Anyways guys, that's it for now for this tech Q&A session. I hope this was helpful, and guys, if you're still not subscribed to this YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. Anyways guys, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Take care. Catch you later.